Hey, I didn't see you there. Welcome to the Niles Canyon Railway. My name's Logan. I'll be your tour guide today. Come on, I'll show you around. The Niles Canyon Railway is one of the Bay Area's best tourist railway museums, located throughout the historical Niles Canyon. We'll be visiting the itty-bitty town of Sonoma, California, and the iconic small rail and movie town of Niles, California. These towns are the start and stop points for the 13-mile-long train ride, which is about an hour-long round trip. During your ride, you'll see beautiful mountainscapes, plenty of bridges, the clear waters of the Alameda Creek, and even other trains on the adjacent Union Pacific Railroad. The train is equipped with a snack bar, coffee, and restrooms. Train rides happen on the weekends, and availability can be checked through the Niles website. Go to ncry.org, ride, plan your ride, buy tickets, choose diesel or steam trains depending on which season it is, and it'll show you the days of the month that trains will be running. You can either buy a ticket here or buy tickets at the Sonoma Depot before your ride. Rides are free with a PLA membership. Alright, now that you've seen the train ride itself, let's go take a look at the epicenter of the operation. Here we are in the Brightside yard. This is where all the magic happens. It's here in the yard where all the equipment we are in possession of is stored, painted, worked on, and overall restored by volunteers. That's right, the Niles Canyon Railway is entirely volunteer operated. The majority of the equipment you're seeing here dates back to the old days. For example, this is our SD9 locomotive, Southern Pacific number 5472. She was built by Electromotive Division, or EMD for short, all the way back in 1956. Now that's a long time ago. It was solely the work of volunteers who restored it and keep it in the condition it's in today, along with all the other equipment you see here in the yard. Believe it or not, I'm actually a volunteer here myself. Let's take a look at the signal team. One of the many jobs here at the NCRY is the group of signaleros. We're in charge of putting together, maintaining, and inspecting each of our railroad crossing signals and signage. We have 6 crossings right now, but we are of course expanding and plan to set up more. Minimal knowledge is actually required for this department, though a fundamental understanding of the theory of electricity and how to use a multimeter really come in handy to get you started.
Name is Jim Stewart. I lead a group of guys around to check the signals. Those crossing signals have to be checked once a month. Briefly, when we get here, we turn off the AC power, and we're checking to make sure everything works under battery power. We have batteries here. They'll keep the crossing going for 12 to 24 hours if the AC goes off for any reason. Once we get it off, we'll run the crossing to run the voltages down a bit, and then check all the currents to make sure they're within spec. The idea being, if they get out of spec, we can catch a problem before it actually occurs on the real crossing. We also shunt the tracks. When the train comes, the axle shorts the tracks, and that tells the system that the train is coming. And we have a shunt test that mimics that. And of course, we check all the signals as well, and signs and stuff to make sure they're in good shape. Of course, all this is required by the Federal Railroad Administration, all these rules and things. Each crossing takes maybe 15 or 20 minutes, so you can multiply that by 6 in 2 or 3 hours.
Is there anything else you want to say?
Well, the weather is beautiful most of the time. It's enjoyable out here volunteering. This is one of many jobs on the railroad, and this is one of the good ones. It's great to work with the people, and it's good to get the young blood. We keep always looking for younger volunteers. Some of us are getting a little aged. I think anybody that's interested should come on out or look at our website and look at all the jobs you can volunteer for.
And that's just the icing on the cake. I've got a friend in the car department who's working on a train car as we speak. Let's go talk to him.
Okay, I'm Bruce Burke, and I'm a volunteer for the Niles Canyon Railroad. Started in August as a result of a good friend named Stephanie. She invited me and my daughter to the 4th of July event, and I was hooked. I've been a member ever since. Most of my efforts have been on this car. The car is named the Gothic Peak, a Pullman. She's born in 1926. Pretty much been in the Santa Fe inventory until we purchased her. Right now, the restoration is going on. There's just 2 of us, myself and Jeff. Right now, the big focus is on windows. I do like being in the car department. I like the challenge of doing something that I've never done before. And I find it a way of avoiding the stagnant being at home. I'm 78 years old, going still strong. Volunteer hours are average probably anywhere from 5 to 6 hours when I arrive, Wednesdays and Saturdays. Started with signals, and so I'm full-time with signals. I'm also working maintenance of way, replacement of railroad ties on switches. Also done a little bit of work on the steam engines on the Skookum, and train of lights. I was a parking helper and directing traffic. If there's other help that's needed in the yard, I just put things down and go help. If you ever wanted to experience something beyond just playing with trains on a tabletop, this is the place to come.
All right, thanks, Bruce.
You're welcome.
Have you ever wondered how to actually drive a locomotive? Well, let's go find out by speaking to one of the engineers.
My name's Scott. I'm a fireman here at the Niles Canyon Railway. I've been with the organization 6 years. I've been a fireman for a year. It is fun to ride trains. My favorite part would be the challenge of managing speed over the grade with the different weights we have.
Can you give a super brief rundown of the controls?
Yeah, right here we have the train brake. This applies the brakes on the whole train. Right next to it here is the locomotive brake or the independent brake. This only applies the brakes on just the locomotive itself. Right here we have the throttle, obviously. They call this the reverser. It's like the gear shift in your car, forward, neutral, reverse. This is the horn. This is our bell. Here we have just a bunch of miscellaneous switches. Control and fuel pump and engine run are the two main switches. Nothing works without these two being on. The rest are just class lights, headlights, number board lights. This is the amp meter, and these are the air gauges here. And obviously the speedometer, just basic stuff. Other than that, that's pretty much it, at least on this control right here.
All right, well, thanks, Scott. And now to close it off, a word from our president.
My name is Henry Baum, and I've been president of the Pacific Locomotive Association for around 10 years. If you're interested in preserving history, if you're interested in how things work, if you're interested in seeing things happen, this is a great place to volunteer. It's funny because, people think, well, you have to love trains to come here and volunteer, but you do not, right? We desperately need volunteers. First off, a lot of our volunteers are aging out. Most of the volunteers here are 75 and up. We need volunteers who are in their teens, 20s, and 30s. To work on railroad equipment, you need to be 18 years of age. But beyond that, we have jobs people can do that aren't tied to the railroad equipment. We have a lot of high school students who need to do their community service type things, and we will find jobs for you to do out here as well. We are always looking for people who are willing to take on a project and just run with it, because there's thousands of things that need to be done. We're not looking for skills, right, so much as desire.
What are some good ways to contribute to the whole entire project?
Becoming a volunteer is a great way, right? You can become a member, you get our newsletter, right? You can just come out and ride the trains, that all contributes. The money we raise from train rides all gets put back into the project, Okay, I really want to thank Logan for doing this. I want to thank you all for watching this video, learning about the Niles Canyon Railway and the Pacific Locomotive Association. And I hope to see you all out here at some time riding the trains, volunteering, whatever you can do. It will be appreciated, and you can have a ball out here. We have a lot of fun, so really appreciate it. Thank you.